Good evening and bloody welcome to Summer Night Murder Mystery Sinking Island, even though it's fall. So, let's continue from where we left off, which were in the office, and I were trying to gain access to the drawers right here, but I couldn't. So let's talk to some of the suspects instead. I need to find out where they are though. I will have to talk to Hubert Noland, and he's in the heliport lounges. So I have to ask him about the key that we found in his safe in a previous episode. So we have to interrogate him about that key. So I am in the heliport lounges now. I think that I might be on the wrong floor here though, because I think that he is up here, if I'm not mistaken, or if he haven't moved since we last saw him. So yeah, let's talk to him about that key and see what he have to say about that. There he is. He is sitting in a very awkward
What can
position.
I do for you, Inspector?
Well, you can. Well, let's go from left to right. Let's talk to him about Walter Jones' speech.
The items deposited in Walter Jones' safe clearly indicate that had he not been murdered, the marriage with Baina would have taken place and the heirs would all have been deprived of the estate.
Legally, that's certain, Inspector. The grandchildren of Walter Jones would purely and simply have been deprived of their inheritance. Walter lacked transparency on the matter of his estate and humanity toward his natural heirs. To disinherit your descendants, those of your own blood. And what's more, for the benefit of a young she-devil of 23, and him over 80 years old. All this is infinitely regrettable, even detestable. I'm ashamed to say this, Inspector, but I find that destiny has wisely changed this plan toward the honorable.
Okay, so Hubert Noland seems to have been against the marriage. Perhaps Hubert de Noland wanted to have Baina for himself. I'm just speculating now. But that would mean that Hubert Noland have a reason to kill Walter Jones, because he was jealous of their soon-to-be wedding. Let's talk to him about the manual that describes the wheelchair.
Excuse me, could someone help me decipher this user's manual?
It was workers from the Herb Deckhart Company who assembled the special equipment. Mr. Jones wanted the best wheelchair in the world, and that cost him a fortune, I can tell you. But Jones told me not to get mixed up with it. I have enough money to buy myself all the wheelchairs that exist on this lousy planet, was roughly what he said. I leave you to think about that, Inspector Norm.
Okay. So yeah, Walter Jones seems to have been a rich man, and I have to say that I don't care much for Walter Jones. He don't seem to have been a kind man, but obviously I might be wrong about that. But what I have learned about Walter Jones is that he seems to have been a pretty undecent guy. He doesn't seem to have been nice at all. So I really don't care for him. So it is just I want to solve his murder in the role of Jack Norm, because it is Jack Norm's job. I don't feel that I have to solve the murder because Walter Jones was such a great guy that he needs to have what's the word? Well, he needs to have peace in the afterlife, or something like that. But I don't feel like that, because Walter Jones just don't seem to have been a nice guy. But enough about that. Let's talk to Hubert Noland about why the key were found in his safe, and especially why his prints were all over that key. So yeah.
You left your fingerprints on the key that you stole from your boss. It's very serious. Come now, explain to me what purpose it served for you.
Well, there are duties that we wish we never had to fulfill, Inspector Norm. I'm sure you understand me. I was the attorney and confidant of Walter Jones. We were agreed, he and I, that I was to protect his interests if anything ever happened to him. I therefore took this key to prevent those with the wrong intentions from getting in, and thus to assure myself that his last wishes were secure in the safe. Unfortunately, the safe was empty, and I'm afraid somebody had been there before me.
You're mocking me, Noland. I believed you weren't able to approach poor Walter Jones because the waves were so high. You lied. You would have tried to save him, right?
No, you're mistaken, Inspector. I promised that Walter was no longer moving when I got near him. His head was frighteningly bloodied. He had a ghastly and corpse-like face. It was dreadful to see. And Walter was a very ample man, more than 500 pounds in my view. How would I have hoisted him up? I could easily have fallen down with him. So, I did my duty by taking the key as he had asked me to in the event that something happened to him. I swear.
We'll talk about it again.
Yeah, so Hubert Noland is the one who ripped the key off Walter Jones' neck. So let's go to the progression. Was the chain that W. Jones wore around his neck stolen? If so, by whom? Let's try to solve that puzzle piece, which we are able to do now because we got the declaration that we need. So let's find Hubert Noland. There he is. Okay. Yeah, let's place that right there and see if we got what it takes to solve this piece of the puzzle. Yeah.
Who stole the
Nice.
chain from Walter Jones's neck? Hubert de Noland stole the key from Walter Jones's neck.
Hi, Reeves. The attorney Hubert de Noland is really not clean. He's the one who stole the key of the safe from his boss's corpse, and he pretends the safe was empty by chance. Okay, I'll keep you
So
posted.
Watch
he's
out for
standing in
yourself,
front
Jack.
of
You gotta
Hubert.
keep an eye on this guy. I believe you've got your suspect. Good luck.
Okay, so he stands right in front of Hubert and Noland while he's making conversation to his boss or the commanding chief or whatever, that guy who he's talking to, the police chief, perhaps, I don't know. But anyways, we have managed to solve that piece of the puzzle now. So we don't got that many pieces left. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it is 5 pieces left. Let's take a look on this piece right here. Who were the last people to go into the library before the murder? Okay. And this piece right over here, who seems to be a good marksman. Let's see if we can solve this piece of the puzzle. Now we are missing some evidence. I think that we are missing 2 pieces of evidence in order to solve this piece of the puzzle. But let's just try and place the correct clues here. So we need a declaration. Who seems to be a good marksman? Lorenzo Battaglieri seems to be a good marksman. Okay, so let's place his declaration right there. I don't think we got anything else from him. So let's go to Sonia. Sonia says that Lorenzo knows how to shoot. Yeah, I think that is the correct declaration. Let's move on to Billy. Okay. Billy confirms what Sonia says regarding the safe and Nolan. No, that's not it. No, I don't think that Billy got a declaration that we can place. So let's go to Christina. No. Marco. Marco says that Lorenzo knows how to shoot. Yeah, let's place that declaration right there. And let's go to Hubert and Noland. Noland says that he used the rifle to look through the telescope. Nolan says that Lorenzo knows how to shoot. I think that we should place that declaration right there. Perhaps we also should place that declaration. Nolan says that he used the rifle to look through the telescope. Yeah, I might as well place that there for now. So let's move on to Coolio. Yeah, Coolio says that Lorenzo knows how to shoot. So let's place that declaration right there. And I don't have any more declarations that I can place, not now at least. So let's move on to material clues. Um, it's a telescopic bolt-action rifle. Linear bolt-action carbine rifle, and information about that. And was recently used. I think that I need to place that as a material clue, but just in case, let's look at some other clues. No, I don't think that there are any other clues here. Okay, so let's go to documents then. Okay, so so far I haven't found documentation. Walter Jones affair file is the people on the island. Letter from Walter Jones, Coolio. Found the Segura Tower, found the tower employees dismissal. Trial summary notes. Invitation cards. Restaurant menu. Tourist pamphlet. Facts of autopsy report. Yeah, I think that is the document that I need to place. Because in that document it said that he was shot from a great distance and all that. And a picture of scratch on a murder weapon. No, a picture of Nolan's prints on rifle. I think that is the... No, I can't place that. That is a print. Then I think that picture of library windowsill with wood chips. Perhaps that's the picture I should place, or that one right there. Or perhaps that picture. It's a photo of the family safari. I am missing some pieces of evidence, but let's place that right there for now. But I think that I need to collect at least one, but perhaps two more clues in order to solve this piece of the puzzle. I don't know what I am missing though. Okay, well, let's... Should I talk to Hubert and Nolan again, just in case?
What can I do for you,
if
Inspector?
I am able
Excuse
to?
me, I am
No,
distracted.
I
I
am
have
not
what I
able
need.
to
See you
talk
later.
to him. So what should I do now? I think that I need to talk to someone else, but I don't know whom though. Marco is on the heliport, so let's go and talk to him. Baina is in the garden. I think that is close by as well. Lorenzo is in his studio. Clara is in the kitchen. Christina is still in her and Marco's suite. Coolio is in Walter Jones' room. Sanya is in the garden as well. Martin is also on the heliport, as well as Billy. And we all know that Walter Jones is in the morgue, so let's go to the heliport, because that is the closest place to here. And there are also 3 guys here, so let's go out and talk
With all these
to
tables
them.
and chairs in the mezzanine, we ought to be fine. We'll make a raft. We'll get everyone on board. We'll take supplies and water, and we'll get out of here fast.
You're
That
utterly
sounds
raving,
like a
my poor
bad
fellow.
plan.
With these waves and this storm, we can't even get past the coral reef. We will all end up drowning. So personally, I prefer waiting to be rescued.
Do what you want, Martin. I'll ask the others to help me. I thought you were braver than this, man.
Okay.
Fine, Billy. No point in getting angry. I'll help you anyway. You were never capable of hammering a nail.
Okay, building a raft out of tables and whatnot don't seem to be the best of plans, but of course they might not have much else to choose from, because there is a large storm brewing, and the rescue service are unable to send helicopters and or boats to this island here. So yeah, I can only speak to Marco, or whatever his name is, who stands there. I think that is Marco, because the other guys left. So yeah, let's talk to him.
I need you to enlighten me on a point.
Let's talk to him about Walter Jones' speech.
The items deposited in Walter Jones' safe clearly indicate that had he not been murdered, the marriage with Baina would have taken place, and you would all have been disinherited.
I was totally shattered to discover this. You know, Inspector, it wasn't always simple to see clearly through my grandfather's intentions. I certainly knew of a liaison between Baina and him, but I hadn't really understood its importance, I confess. I more or less understand the feeling of loneliness that must have weighed him down since my grandmother's death.
Okay, so I had an option to talk to him about that turtle box, but now it have disappeared. I don't know why things like that disappear as an conversation alternative, but it's not the first time that I have experienced that. It have happened before, and I don't know if that is some kind of bug in the game, or if it is because that he talked about the marriage and then the dialogue would have been the same. Oh, excuse me. Would have been the same if I had choose to talk about the turtle box instead of the speech. But anyway, let's talk to him about Walter Jones' file on his heirs.
What was Walter Jones' position with regards to your political career, Marco?
He was not interested in my career of late, Inspector. Grandfather thought Christina was a schemer who was bad for my electoral campaign, that she was, in a way, badly cast for the role, politically incorrect. He wanted me to break up with Christina. I could not bring myself to do this, Inspector. My girlfriend runs my career with verve and intelligence. We're a darned good team together, and it's out of the question that I leave her. You know, last month, Christina was subject to a terrible attack, but I refuse to believe that Walter Jones could be behind it.
Okay.
I think that your grandfather was pretty unfair to your girlfriend. Christina seems to be very nice.
Yeah.
My grandfather didn't like
thinks
Christina.
that.
For him, all girls from Eastern Europe were unscrupulous gold diggers. Unfortunately, it's no longer possible for me today to get him to change his mind, Inspector.
Well, even more dialogue about the file.
Do you think Walter Jones's fears about Christina were justified?
I owe a lot of things to my grandfather, and in the past he was an excellent advisor, but his mistrust of Christina was unfounded. You know, Inspector, even my electors are charmed by her. That said, if one day I had to choose between her and politics, you could be sure I would choose her.
Oh, what a romantic. Okay, so even more dialogue.
This page from Jones's diary about Christina's aggression seems totally like a confession to me.
Yes. Of course, I had doubted the facts at times, I asked my grandfather for an account, but he always denied having ordered the aggression. I thank you, Inspector, for furnishing me with this proof. Walter Jones is dead. Peace be with him. But at least this sad affair has been brought to light.
Even more dialogue.
Why did Walter Jones talk about Sonia's desire for revenge?
I remember Sonia's courage in defending our father, who had been humiliated by Walter Jones. I admire her enormously for having had the courage. My father, Edward Jones, was not a man of stature, you understand. For a long time, I admired my grandfather and despised my father.
Surely.
Okay then. So he despised his father. And I got some... Well, I got a new statement or a declaration. I guess that's what... Marco says that Lorenzo knows how to yeah, I know that. Okay, so what kind of clue did I got? I'm not sure. Maybe it's about that? No? I'm not sure. I want to solve this piece of the puzzle before I solve that one. But perhaps I will have to solve that one before I am able to solve that one. I'm not sure. Okay, well, let's go this way and see if we can talk to Billy and that other guy. I think that I have left this area though. Where is Billy? He is in the dining room, as well as Martin. Yeah, Martin was the other guy who were accompanying him. Sonia is in the garden, so let's head to the garden. Yeah, let's head to the garden, because I think that is the closest. Should I... Where is the garden? It doesn't say. I kinda don't remember where the garden is though. Is it this way? Yeah, here's
You
the
can
garden.
simper, my beautiful. I'm not buying into it. I know very well that you can speak. You're playing mute to soften up Lorenzo, but I'm not blind. I see that you're running after him. My poor girl. But Lorenzo only feels pity for you. Do you understand that?
I think that we have already watched this. And soon
You hope that you could hoodwink the cop, but not me.
Baina will give
I know
her
very
a
well
bitch
that you're the
slap.
murderer, because it wasn't enough for you to push an old man in a wheelchair into the void. You had to finish him off by pulling the trigger. And now you think you can mooch off Lorenzo. You have your head in the clouds, my poor girl. You'll end up in the ditch. That's what will happen.
Yep, here comes the bitch slap.
Bitch, you'll pay me back for that.
Okay, so we have already seen this, so I thought that I played through all the parts that I had missed since I forgot to save. I think it was in a previous episode that I forgot to save, and obviously I had played a bigger part than I thought that I had, but
I just
well,
have some questions to ask you.
let's talk to them about stuff. Let's talk to her about the turtle box for a change, because we can talk to her about Walter Jones' speech, but let's talk to her about the turtle box.
The items deposited in Walter Jones' safe clearly indicate that had he not been murdered, the marriage with Baina would have taken place, and you would all have been disinherited.
Oh, well, Mr. Norm. Don't we say that all unhappiness brings its share of happiness? My grandfather is dead, and it's surely sad. But if he weren't dead, I would not have found these items. Isn't that so? And this vicious little Baina would have helped herself to our estate.
Why did Jones speak of your desire for revenge against him?
Mr. Norm, I will never forget, you hear me, never, that day. The day when I was able to restore some dignity to my father, who was humiliated by this jerk Walter Jones. And if I'd had a shorter temper, I would have killed my grandfather that day. It was everything he deserved. Yes, I would have so liked to kill Walter Jones.
I get it.
That is the wrong thing to say in a murder investigation, especially to the investigator who are trying to solve a murder case. So yeah, I don't think that we can talk to her about anything else.
Just
but
one
just
question.
in case.
I won't be here for long. Excuse me, I am distracted. I have what I
So
need. See you later.
let's run up to Baina. I don't think that we can talk to her about
I just have some
anything
questions
at
to
all,
ask
though.
you.
We can, but
The
she
items
are
deposited in
unable
Walter
to
Jones's
speak,
safe clearly
so
indicate that had he not been murdered,
she
the
can't
marriage with
answer.
you would have taken place, and the heirs would all have been deprived of the estate.
So she's sad. Okay, let's
A
try
question
and
is
talk
buzzing
to her.
in my head. Excuse me, I am distracted.
No.
I have what I need.
We
See you
can't
later.
talk to her about anything else, but she is sad, and she can't have been the one who shot Walter Jones, and it just doesn't make sense that she would shoot her future husband before they got married. So I think that Baina is innocent. Let's go to... No, let's do like this. Let's go to Lorenzo's apartment. I don't think that we got anything. Let's run this way. I don't think that we got anything to get out of him, but just in case, since I'm up here, let's go to his studio, which is on the top floor, I believe. Yeah, here we go. And let's see if we can talk to him about stuff, which I think that we might not be able to, but it's worth a shot at least.
I need your assistance to clarify certain points.
Oh, we can talk to him about some stuff. So yeah, let's talk to him. The Walter Jones speech and the turtle box seems to pretty much be the same conversation. So it gives the same answer. But yeah, let's just choose the turtle box.
The items deposited in Walter Jones' safe clearly indicate that had he not been murdered, the marriage with Baina would have taken place, and the heirs would all have been deprived of the estate.
Baina would have the queen's life that she so richly deserves. I understand better now why I could never totally hate this old fellow. He had a certain sense of justice, despite all his depravity.
Okay, so let's talk to him about the Gold Wheelchair 2005 manual.
Excuse me, could someone help me decipher this user's manual?
Well, to be frank, I was happy to be relieved from having to figure out the wiring plans for the special equipment on Walter Jones's wheelchair. I gotta admit, I didn't know much about such things. But I remember having entrusted the plan of the tower to the design office of the Herb Deckard Company. The building of it happened during my break 2 years ago. So I don't know anything more, but I'm sure that the package insert will provide you with all the information you need.
Thank you.
The package insert? What does he mean by that, and where can I find it? I am uncertain, but let's head to the radio and see if we can find out anything more about the storm. I think that the radio is dead though. Yeah. We don't have any contact with the outside world. So that is really not good. I think that Lorenzo sent out a distress signal, but I'm not sure if it reached.
This
What?
inquiry. I'm empty. Come on, it's time to go to the restaurant to question these good people.
So he's hungry. And he's eating bread again. Standing here at the bar looking at bottles instead of sitting down on the chair. Here's the raft. Let's take a look on the raft. And then let's talk to some of the people who are down here. Wow, that
Billy seems to prefer being in Hubert de Nolan's company than in yours. It was the second time during the meal that he's left you to go and see him.
I think he's in need of the enlightened advice of a good attorney. He gambled a lot recently, and he put himself in a delicate situation, if you know what I mean.
I see. Well, in any case, I am delighted with your presence at this table, Clara.
Thank you, Lorenzo. It's nice of you to say that, because you would have preferred that Sonia were here in my place. I like your presence too, but don't misunderstand me. I love Billy in spite of all his escapades.
Don't worry, Clara.
Okay.
I don't doubt for an instant that you love your husband deeply.
So that's some weird conversation they had there. Let's take a look on the raft here. Wow, this is actually more impressive than I thought it would be, and they have built it under no time at all, because it haven't passed much time since they talked about building a raft up to this point, where they clearly have built a very impressive raft. So it kind of looks like a boat, but I don't know what they thought about placing it in here, because how are they gonna get it out of the building? If the water floods the dining room or the dining area, sure, it will float on the water, but how will they get it out in the open sea? They have to smash a wall or something in order to be able to get it out of here. But yeah, enough about that. It is time to end this episode here, so in the next episode I will talk to whoever I have time to talk to. We recently talked to Lorenzo, so I don't think there is much meaning in talking to him. So I think that we should talk to Billy, perhaps. Yeah, but that's for the next episode. So until then, Thank you so much for watching and have a good night.